Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got a very awesome guest. He is an actor and a singer, and he's a writer as well. And his name is Jordan Doww. And he was in a movie that I really loved called Ganymede. Excuse me. And I'm going to talk to him all about that movie, about his film life, about his music life, and stuff that he writes as well. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show. And my interview with Jordan will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Rume, and as always, welcome to my nightmare.
I got my bubbly. I'm addicted to these. Not
Yo, they're
sponsored.
so good.
Yeah.
They're really, really good. Like I love like all flavors. I mean, like all
Mm.
different kind of seltzer waters or
Yeah.
oh my God, they're
Something
so
about it just tickles the throat. And it's refreshing.
yes.
Let's move on.
It's better than drinking regular water though. Like sometimes I don't have the taste for regular
Yeah.
water, and at least it has a flavor.
Yeah, exactly. It just hits differently.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
See now that they have to s- sponsor you now because you're talking about them, right?
They better.
So the first question I guess I want to start out asking you is I see you are doing a lot of different things. Like you act, you write, you make songs. And what drew you to all this and how do you find time to balance it all?
Yeah. So like I've been at this for about I've been at this for like 10 years. I uh ever since I was little, I've always wanted to be somebody. But I've always been drawn to like the stage and to just art in general. I was always like a creative person and it was kind of my outlet. I was a really shy kid and then, a few years of theater, I turned into like the loudest person in the room. Um maybe we healed something, I don't know, but that's what art does for me. And so from a very young age I knew what I wanted to do, and so at the age of 19 I moved to LA, which was really young, but I got myself into the business. And it started with the YouTube stuff, and then the YouTube stuff kind of turned into comedy, and then the just the platform in general like allowed me to explore music. And then uh, during all of that, I found a love for hosting, which I love hosting. And then yeah, but I will say at the core, acting has always been kind of like the number one focus.
Okay.
Everything else has kind of just fallen into place as like fun creative outlets. And you know what it is? I think I'm severely undiagnosed ADHD and I can't focus on one thing. And I just can't focus on one thing. I get bored and I like to spread my wings. Oh, I
Exactly.
didn't even answer your question. How do I find time for it? I just do.
You, it is boring just sticking with one thing like day in and day out. So I think you're on to something here. Like this sounds like a good plan.
I even dropped out of college because I was like, I can't do this every day for 4 years. What? What do you mean I'm supposed to learn one thing and do that one thing for the rest of my life? Are you crazy?
The at least with college you have like the frat parties and all that stuff. So that makes it a little more interesting.
I had a little too much fun my 1 year at college.
There you go. That's what college is for. Like some people go to
Yeah.
learn. I want to go there to have fun. I don't want to
Yeah,
learn.
I went for the experience. I went for the experience and I said I can experience other things elsewhere.
Yes, exactly. And I see you wrote and toured with Hollywood, and you also wrote it's sketchy too. So can you tell me about the both of them?
You are the first. Oh my God, you are the first person to ask this ever in like since it happened. Oh, my phone's going off. Um, I I am like I'm not gonna degrade myself, but I'm a little. I've grown up and I'm a little cringed out about that era of my life. But if I look back at it, judgment aside, I had so much fun.
Hmm.
SNL was always my dream, and at the time, a lot of people with their YouTube followings were kind of taking their talents to the stage, and
Yeah.
that's something that I did before I even ever joined YouTube. Like I grew up doing improv. I went to Second City in Chicago. Literally, I drove there every weekend just to take class from Detroit.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, like that was always my dream, and so to have a platform, let alone people that would like buy tickets to a show. I mean, that was just the coolest thing ever for like 20-year-old me. So I ended up, yeah, writing this like variety show. I wouldn't call it a stand-up show. It was like a variety show. I mean, there was a lot of components to it. It was really, really interactive, really sketch comedy based. Um, but then it kind of came first full circle. It had like song and dance. It had, kind of
Nice.
sweeter, more tender moments. And I had always dreamed of making like that show bigger and better, and maybe I still will in the future. But for what it was at the time, it was so fun. And then with that, I kind of went the more sketch comedy route and kind of just wrote and made my own sketch show. That was really cool. Uh, I look back and I'm like, well, I'm not the best writer, but I definitely had help with most of it because I'm more like character based. I'm not like
Yeah, yeah.
presence based. Um, all in all, like I loved that chapter so much. It just kind of I got a little, what's the word? I got a little burnt out with it all because it was all happening at once.
Yeah.
Um, I do think one day I would love to like kind of explore that again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love being funny. It's the best therapy.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
definitely.
calling myself funny, but I like to make people laugh.
Okay, okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
I realize I feel like I'm talking like a lot.
No, no,
I had
I
a
love
coffee
it.
like 2 hours ago, and I
I
don't drink coffee anymore. So I think I'm having. Ah, I'm just kidding.
Hey, this is fun. Like I love it. Like when I have a guest on and they like to talk, it makes it better. I mean,
Okay,
there's
good.
there's some people that just like sit there with a stone face and like give like one word answers, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I have to ask
Okay,
the
yeah,
next
yeah.
question.
I'm not that boring. You can just mute me whenever, by the way.
No, no, no. This is great. I love it. And one of your early films, like one of your first films, is Reach, and it's a really like powerful film. Like it's a really great film because Nick is struggling with his home life and
Yeah.
his identity, whether he likes girls or likes guys, has a girl, has a guy, and his family life. And I was reading like you worked with Garrett 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 Clayton, and he helped push you to play the role and get into like Nick's mind. And this is like something like a lot of people go through when they they know that they're gay, but they still want to try not to be, and they go with like a girlfriend and hide it from their family. And like how do you get into like a mindset to explore a character like that?
You know, I feel like I can say this now that like a bunch of time has passed. I almost wish they explored that more.
Hmm.
It was really like a tiny uh tidbit to him, and you know yeah, I do wish that was explored more. But to answer your question, that was my life. I mean, I was that same. I mean, I wasn't like mean and a bully like him,
Well,
but
yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of like kind of shoving down a part of you that or maybe too afraid to explore. I mean, that was certainly me in high school. Like I definitely tried to date girls, and I remember when I like first met my first guy crush, it was really secret.
Yes,
And yeah, like I just really related to that. I mean, that was my upbringing. Um, yeah, it was almost like the girl. I mean, it's tricky because now that I look back, I definitely had feelings for these girls, but it was, I guess, different. Like
mhm.
it was, feelings. What are feelings? But
Yeah, yeah.
it's interesting to like look back and see now as an adult, like what were those crazy big emotions. But yeah, like I felt really private and secretive when I first met a guy that I liked. Whereas like every time I liked a girl, it was obviously a bit more public.
Of course, of course.
Maybe it was performative. I don't know. You know?
Now I totally get it. Like I was in the same boat too. Like how you you were just describing everything like that. That was me
Yeah.
too, and for like the longest time, and you know, like talk girls into going out just so that
Yeah.
someone sees me with a girl, and then my family
Yes.
sees me with a girl,
But
and
like I
then
wasn't aware of
yeah.
that when I was that
Mhm.
young. Like I thought and that's why I've definitely juggled between like, what my actual identity was and stuff like that. But yeah, just things changed when I started accepting the fact that I could like guys
Exactly.
and allow myself to feel that. And but
No,
also poor him and poor us who like had to kind of hide that.
I know exactly. Like that's the only part that sucks is I mean, because you're just finding yourself, like, really, and
Not
you
that that is anyone's business though either, by the way. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be like this big public thing either.
exactly.
Like I
Yeah.
very much did like I loved my first like love uh journey.
Yeah.
It was private, but it was beautiful, you know?
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. And you were also on set for Love, Simon. So how was the set like for that?
You know what's funny? And I always know when someone's lying when they say, "Oh my God, you did so good in Love, Simon." And I'm like, I'm in the background. You don't even, I know for a fact you did not see me in that movie. I am in the background. So my whole, I think people think that I'm Nick Robinson, the lead. So like legit, someone texted me the other day and said, "Oh my God, I'm out with friends and they were looking at who liked my story and they pulled up your profile and they were like, "Oh my God, we loved him and loved Simon." And I'm like, they're lying to you. They just Googled me in front of you right now. Oh, there's a fly. Um, so I got to that was back when I was like doing influencer YouTube life full time,
Yeah.
and they invited a bunch of queer content creators to
Mhm.
like the Fox slots and to set in Atlanta, Georgia, and they let us be a part of the whole telling of the story. I mean, we met the author of the books. Um, we met like the director of the film.
Oh, wow.
We got to help pick the poster and the trailer. I mean, it was like a really cool gig. And then they
Oh,
even
that's
let us
awesome.
like fly to Georgia and like be an extra on set. We interviewed the cast for a Snapchat series. So like, yeah, like it was
Oh, wow.
insane. So like as a thank you, they were like, here, we'll credit you as an extra in the scene. So that's how I got the credit on my profile. But I will say like that felt very legendary, like being a part of what feels like a really pivotal time in like queer cinema. Like
Oh, yeah.
I feel like once that film came out, we started seeing a lot more in the space.
Exactly.
So it felt really cool. And like, that's definitely one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, I did that. It was pretty cool.
I mean, I loved the television show too. Love
Yeah, I know.
Victor. That was
Oh,
so good.
I auditioned for that. I didn't get it, obviously, but I was bummed about that one.
Oh,
That happened.
you should say, hey, I was a big part of Love Simon, so I want to
Yeah,
be in
I
Love
was an
Victor.
uncredited high school student in the background of the cafeteria scene. You didn't see me? Like I deserve I have a green sweater on.
Yeah, yeah. The television show was really good. Even like Lucas Gage even had like a little role in that
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Lucas is incredible. Lucas is like
Yeah.
off.
Oh my God, he's blowing up, isn't he?
It's so cool to see. It's so cool to see. It's cool to see your like, it's cool to see your friends like succeed and do well,
Definitely.
you know?
It it was fun. Do you remember when Lucas Gage had that horror movie out, the New Year's Eve like queer horror movie? It was like a killer like killing people on New Year's Eve. And
No.
yeah, yeah, Lucas, it was like one of his like early roles. And
Okay, you gotta send me that.
I'll remember what it is and I'll send it to you. And I remember I interviewed him for the movie,
Oh, cool.
and then and then once that movie came out, then he did something else, and then he started blowing up. And I reached back, and they're like, "Lucas is too busy." I'm like, "Ah."
Oh no. Yeah, we know. Wait, maybe I have seen it. I'll have to rewatch it. I'll have to. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
And
He is busy.
he is no no like he's all over the place. He was just in Smile too, so yeah, yeah.
What?
The guy's busy.
I'm too scared to see it, so I won't be seeing him in that. But
Okay,
yay, good for him.
definitely.
I don't.
And you know, now to talk about your movie, it's along the lines of horror. It's like a thriller horror.
Yeah,
Ganymede. I hope I said that right.
Ganymede.
Ganymede. I always said it wrong. I interviewed the guys who wrote and made it,
I
and
saw it. I loved it.
I think I butchered the name then too.
Oh, you're good.
So like, how did you wind up finding out about the film and get cast as the lead?
What a journey this was. It was 2020. Uh, I hadn't had a project. I was auditioning a bunch in. So my last project to come out, I think, was around 2018. Although I think I did a web series in 2019, but this was a pretty like slow. It was like a slow chapter for me. I was auditioning a bunch, and everything was like kind of turning into like all digital and self tapes and stuff. And finally, it was like 2020. My agent sends me this script, and he's like, "Hey, read this. Like you're on their what's it called? Like pitch deck of potential people they would like to play the part." And like I was on a
Oh,
list of like other really talented, famous queer actors, and I was like, "Okay, I
nice.
will not stand a chance um, at all." But let me read it, and I just remember reading it and like knowing in my soul that this was a part for me to play, and like I haven't obviously worked a bunch, but I've worked enough to know and have auditioned for far like enough projects to know like when something feels right and when it doesn't. And this was just like one of those soul connection moments where I there's parts of my character that I don't fully relate to, but I could
Yeah.
1000% see and relate to. And I just saw myself in him in the lines like immediately. And especially where I was in my personal life at the time, like I just thought it couldn't have been at like a more perfect time. It was, you know. So I ended up like very unconventional, but I ended up like getting the the creator's email and like sending them this like massive love letter. And
Okay.
yeah, I was like, this project's amazing. Like I love the concept. I loved the internalized homophobia aspect of it and how it turned into like a demon, like a monster.
Exactly.
I thought that was
Exactly.
just like so cool and so unique. And I haven't personally seen it done before. And I loved how the film touched on mental health and
Hmm.
religion. And I just thought it was like controversial in like such a good, edgy way. And yeah, I just sent them this big love letter and I was like, hey, very long story short, I was like, hey, I love this film. What do I have to do to play this part? And we had a few meetings back and forth. And it thankfully like reciproc what's the word? The feelings were mutual that it felt like a good connection. And so we landed the part, and this was like April of 2020.
Oh wow. Okay.
We immediately go into lockdown.
Oh,
So we have no idea when we're going to shoot it at this point, but it was tentative like fall of 2020. Um, that obviously didn't happen. And so I took the chance to like leave LA and like move to Michigan and like kind of get my stuff together mentally, physically. And
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the time away, we ended up filming it 2 years later. The time I had with the script and the time of and like I did a bunch of growth and I had a bunch of growth in those 2 years. And like just with this project in general, in time, it became so much more prevalent, so much more impactful. It sat way differently in me in such a much better, more honest way, that the time wouldn't have allowed for previously. Um, yeah, it was just one of those perfect projects that, came to me. And it
Nice.
was my first like lead.
Well, yeah, yeah,
It's so
yeah, yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And in this movie, like you play the jock who's wrestling, and you're buffing it too. Like, did you do like a lot of training for this role, and did you learn how to wrestle?
So they didn't ask me to train, but I was like, he's an athlete, let me train. So actually though, I would have like, again, they didn't ask me to do this, but I would have bulked up more had I known I was going to play a wrestler. I was actually supposed
Mhm.
to be a track star at first.
Oh,
So
really?
school's track star. And so I was like going through like a lot of like health stuff at the time. So like I made it a point myself to like get in the gym, kind of be like adapt a healthier lifestyle. Um and I was in the gym sometimes 3, 4, 5 days a week. And we get to Kentucky and the track field is like completely demolished.
Oh
And
no.
what the hell is going on? So obviously with wrestling, weight matters
Well, yeah.
when you're up against like you're in weight brackets. So I ate so much food and went to the gym twice a day while filming. And
Oh
I
my
did
God.
everything that I could to like present a little bit more bulky. Yeah, it was a lot. But it was cool. It was worth it. Like I definitely lost all of that. I don't look like that anymore, but we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it.
See, when you were training like that, you should have auditioned for WWE, like, you know?
Okay, well, I will. I'm not after that film though. I'm not a fan of wrestling. I almost vomited everywhere. Yeah, it was not. Yeah, well, like we did because we kind of like rehearsed. We kind of like choreographed it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We did it we filmed that scene right after lunch, and we had just had like a big lasagna.
Oh no.
And to answer your other question, they we like I worked with a coach for like maybe 2 hours,
Okay.
and that's it. So we kind of choreographed this like movement, and then on the day, or I guess 2 hours later, we shoot it. And after like 3 or 4 takes, I was like about to throw up.
Oh my
We only
God,
did three or
really?
four. It's wrestling is so hard.
Oh, it is, I know.
Like we were doing it for Rio, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I used to wrestle in school, so
Oh, no
that's how
way.
I know. Yeah, yeah. When
I
I went to high school, I was doing wrestling, and then I eventually went into pro wrestling. Never made it WWE,
Hey,
but yeah.
very cool. Wow, props to you. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, no, it takes a lot. It does.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
takes a lot out of you, and physically, mentally, like it does. It takes a lot out of you.
yeah, for sure. So,
And and this is like another role similar to the other movie I talked about, Reach. Like
yeah.
it's almost similar, but it's not. But in a way, it is like
Right, right, right.
because, you know, Lee is his parents are very strict, like very religious, strict,
Yeah. I didn't even think
and
about that actually.
yeah, and you know, and Lee it has likes another guy,
Mhm.
but that's what makes him keep seeing the demon and stuff because he
Yeah,
keeps getting he keeps trying to push those feelings down that he has for him.
yeah,
And like once again, like how do you get yourself into like a mind frame to play a very emotional role like that?
yeah. I really pulled from like a lot of personal experience for that film, and that's what I'm saying. Like the 2 years of time that we had from me booking the role to actually doing it on the day was
Hmm.
so beneficial because 2020, as pretty much most of the world, is like honestly when like my personal mental health journey started. So
Yeah.
I really saw a lot, explored a lot, and when you go through stuff, things just your perspectives of life shifts, of your perspective of life, of yourself, of everything shifts, and the words in the script meant so much more to me 2 years later. And so I was
Hmm.
able to access a bunch more. And yeah, it wasn't easy. Like it was really tricky and obviously really sensitive and a little triggering. Like I definitely had my moments on set where it got a little too much, but
Oh yeah.
it was just one of those moments where like I I felt responsible. I felt like it was my duty to share this story,
Hmm.
and regardless of like its regardless of how people view it or like it or not like it, whatever, I think for those that it will resonate with, it'll do just that. It's obviously not meant to reach everybody, but uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I hope everyone can see themselves in at least one part in the film. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that was the goal.
And like the actor that plays your father, Joe, like I love him on Stranger Things, but I
I
hated
love
him in this
Joe.
movie.
I
Like I
know.
hated him in this movie, and it was like I can't believe this is the same dad from Stranger Things. Like really?
Joe Crest is in everything. If you look at his resume, if you look at his IMDb, he is in everything. And we have the same manager now. I feel really cool. I feel really cool to say that. Um, it was so funny because he was like so mean and so terrible, like
Yes.
as a person in this role. But off camera, off camera, he is such a goofball. We had such a fun time shooting. Like I remember one day, there's one scene specifically, which was a very triggering scene, and that's probably why this happened because I was so uncomfortable. But the church scene with David Keckner
Hmm.
was so terrifying in this role that like it caught me and David off guard. So David and I, oh wait, Joe, sorry. So Joe and I were cracking up laughing because he scared us. It felt so real that we were like dying laughing. And Robin's like hitting me like, shush, shush. And when you have to like, when someone tells you to be quiet, like in school, like, and you
Yeah.
cannot contain it because you're trying to force it down.
Oh yeah.
We were sobbing. We were sobbing. That was my favorite dance.
Oh my
All because of
God.
Joe Crest.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it.
He's such a goofball. I had so much fun with him.
You know, in in the movie, I love the relationship of Lee and Kyle. Like you know, it had its bumps, but then at the end, it turns out that it was worth it. And you know, like Kyle never gave up on Lee as much as Lee pushed him away and didn't want anything to do with him. Like Kyle just knew that there was something there for them, and he kept fighting for it. That eventually helped Lee like battle his demon that was following him.
Right. Right.
And like, what was it like working with Pob Pablo and Sharon, like those like really strong scenes with him for Lee and Kyle?
Pablo and I mean, we hit it off right off the bat when we landed in Kentucky. We just knew when he read for the part that he was Kyle Culper.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because he at first, and I don't even think he knows this, but I'll tell him, or he'll watch this. At first, he like intimidated me because maybe I was already adapting the role of Lee, but like that was the point. The point was
Mhm.
he was supposed to get something out of me, and that was acceptance with myself and like love for myself. And he very much did that even off camera for me. Like when we landed in I found and like appreciated such a deeper level of myself because of him. And we just had such a deep sense of safety and love for each other, like on and off the camera, which I will not ever take for granted. Like I had truly had the month of my life in Kentucky filming this film because of him. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean, we it was just such a fun experience. I mean, we're in the middle of Kentucky, in the middle of nowhere. No, it was a really, really cute town. And, we're touching on really vulnerable stuff. And we were just there for each other. We checked in every day. I love that guy. And he's killing it right now. It's so cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do love the dynamic that Kyle and Lee have. And like,
Oh, definitely.
we all wish someone would wait for us. Doesn't always happen,
No, it don't.
but it's just so sweet. And like, it's just so inspiring to see someone like with a heart like that
Exactly.
wait around and like fight for someone too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I have to say, like there were a couple times in the movie where like I bawled out, like tears down my face. Like
Oh,
one scene is actually like you like Lee, like you know, the shower scene where you keep thinking where Lee keeps thinking of Kyle, and then of course the scene with Kyle seeing Lee with the shock therapy on his head,
yeah.
and then he comes and saves him and takes it off. And so yeah, the shower scene and that scene like had me like in tears.
And no, those were pretty intense moments. I get it.
So was there any scene that you had the most fun filming?
Um, I mean, they were all so much fun. And they were so it it's when you're filming a project, like each scene and each week and each day is its own beast. So it's like I felt like I lived a different experience every single day. But I wouldn't say I had the most fun, but I
Hmm.
had the most wild and transformational experience with the coming out scene. I mean,
Yes.
that was really big for me.
Hmm.
Um, just because I felt like I was really, in a way, like healing like a inner child wound of mine. Um, and then also very triggering because I ended up having like a panic attack because of it. But
Oh no.
the shock therapy scenes,
Yes.
I studied Jack Nicholson in One Flew
Oh
Over
my,
the
yes, one
Cuckoo's
flew
Nest.
over the cuckoo's nest.
Like,
Yes.
it was, I was looking up all of this. I just really wanted that scene to like play a little bit gruesome because we were trying to attempt to go towards the horror
Oh yeah, of course.
realm. Even though the real horror lies in like the psychological realm of it all.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
you know, the predatory pastor using this very outdated machine from God knows when,
Oh my
like
God,
30s,
yes.
40s, 50s. I knew it was a really old machine. And the way, they still do ECT today, and it doesn't look like that. So I really wanted to like go back, use a really unconventional version of it, a really old version of it. And so I came across that clip of him in that movie, and I was like, that's what we're gonna do. So I watched it like 60 times, and I watched like a bunch of old psychiatric videos too
Oh wow.
of that. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this a little gruesome. And
Oh no, you definitely did it.
I had to do it like I think 3 or 4 scenes, and it was like the very last one when Kyle is saving me. Ooh, I
Yeah.
had a panic attack. Ooh,
Oh.
because I was like tensing my whole body up because the shock happens, the current happens after you've done it. And
Oh.
it still flows through you after it's done. And something about like the tension in my whole body just sent me over the edge. And yeah, so I think in one of the takes you see tears coming down my face. Those were real.
Oh
Those
wow.
were real.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Method
And
act.
yeah, definitely. And it's crazy in the movie how the pastor is trying to cure
Yeah.
is trying to cure Lee not being gay. But
Yeah.
then you go back and see like his past. And yeah,
Hypocritical.
yeah.
Hypocritical, which happens more often than not.
I know,
You
it's
know?
crazy. It really is. But the scene that had me busting out laughing is Lee busting Justin's nose. Like,
Oh, really? Cool. I thought you were gonna say the part with Pete Zayas as the zombie, and he's like, "You're in hell, girl."
that's right,
That's
that's
my
right.
favorite scene.
Yes,
That's my favorite scene.
I was like, here's Justin. Like Lee just goes and punches him. Was it twice or three times he punches
Yeah.
him in the nose? And
So it looked real.
yeah, it did.
Okay, good. I was stressed out about that. I was like, I've never punched someone in my life. We had to really we had to really choreograph that one with our stunt coordination. So like I've literally never punched someone in my life.
Hey, you made it look good because
Hey,
the couple times when Lee cracks him, like it really you it really looks like you hit him.
okay, good. Okay, good.
And what did you like doing between takes on set? I don't know if you had any downtime or whatever, but what did you like doing between takes?
Um, truthfully, some of the days I had to just sit in silence in my green room because it was obviously a lot of heavy stuff.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, we were at a really, I mean, each week we were pretty much at a different location. So um there were a lot of cool, I found my little spots of where I could get my zen in.
yeah.
It was also the summer in Kentucky, like we had nature around everywhere. So I just would
Nice.
chill in the grass or soak in some sun or literally gossip with Pablo or, stuff like that.
Ah, nice, nice.
Yeah.
And I
Ate a
mean,
lot of food too.
there you go. What kind of food did you like to eat?
Well, when you work when like on set, there's like a crafty table, like craft
Yeah.
service. And I like when I'm on set, I can't stop eating. I don't know if it's a stress thing, a boredom thing, or yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, hey, you needed the protein and
The
calories to keep
fuel,
up with
yeah,
the wrestler built, you know?
right. Or I remember our first week. Oh gosh, the first week we were at the school. We did all the school stuff the first week. And when like on my downtime, I would just like explore the school. Like I got lost a few times.
Oh no.
We shot in like a real school, like while it was happening. Like kids
Yeah.
were, I was just like peeking around. I'm like, ooh, they're learning about like it was like what's it called? Like a trade school. So people were learning
Oh, okay.
how to build cars and how to build robots and how to cook. I was like, this is sick. Yeah, it's so cool.
And then they're probably like, Jordan, where's Jordan at? Where?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
And the movie's been out a while, so I guess you could spoil it or whatever. But it's been out a while.
Yeah,
I
true.
I love how the movie ends because you see Lee and Kyle having that happy ending, which is something that I was really hoping for. Like I was hoping for the way it ended. And how did it make you feel like to see like that happy ending for Lee and Kyle?
That's actually a big reason why I like really was drawn to the project in the first place. Not only the
Hmm.
happy ending, but also the champion moment at the end when you find out it was him.
Yeah.
Like that was so, oh, it could make me cry. Like it was just so profound to me that like he was his own demon and like it just took battling his own world, which you could say that about everything. You could say that about your own internalized homophobia. You could mental health. Like it's all your own world that's you just have to really fight through it. And then
Mhm.
yeah, just seeing like the it come full circle with the acceptance of uh their mutual love, and then yeah, bringing in the Justin Farkle, the bully
Yes.
character, and then yeah, like
Yes.
kind of even having like Lee's mom, who plays Robin
Hmm.
Lively, kind of get on board as well. It
Yep.
was really cool, and yeah, like you said, it doesn't happen often in queer films.
I know, right? Like
It
they
was cool.
they they love making the queer characters sad and
Well, because
miserable
they
for
think we
some
have so
reason.
much trauma. Like we've been through it, so I get it. But maybe once in a while, which is so funny because we have like our film is so dark and deep that it has like a happy ending. So yeah, I
Oh
think
yeah,
I think it
definitely.
really needed it.
Yes, yes, it definitely did. Yeah.
It would not
And
have hit if it ended badly. You
and your like newest short that you did is called Fair Elaine, and it's another short where you're the lead, and it's a great love story too. And what did you like best about making that short?
So okay, uh, what ended up hello, what ended up happening with that? This guy at Florida State University messaged me and was like, I would really love for you to play a part in our film. And I was like, heck yeah, if it's like a queer film, I'm like, heck yeah, let me read it. And I loved, I was really in a position where I was like, I really want to keep this train going and keep telling queer stories. And he originally wanted me to play the other part, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I messaged him back and I was like, no, no, I'm definitely not that part. I'm definitely the other part. And once I sent in a tape, he was like, oh, hell yeah, yep. Uh,
I see it now, right?
he's like, yeah, he's like, I get you. And that was so fun. I mean, it was like a group of students working on
Mhm.
their thesis film, and they were super open to like ideas, and it was really collaborative. Like if something didn't really sit right with me, I kind of would bring it up to them, and vice versa. If something I was doing wasn't sitting right with them, it was just a really cool collaborative process, and it really made me miss because like I studied film in college my 1 year that I went, and
In
it just
1 year.
brought me back just brought me back like full circle. And because we probably wouldn't have told a story like this when I was in college. Um and yeah, it was just super cool, and it was cool to do that with Ben, who I think that was his first film, and just seeing him
Oh.
shine in that part. And yeah, just like with any role, like really getting to live in the moment with stuff that resonates. Like the first kiss in that movie, in that film, is like, oh, my favorite, literally like one of my favorite scenes ever. Like it was just so vulnerable and so
Hmm. Hmm.
real. And I remember when we shot the first kiss, like the director cried. And it
Oh
was like,
wow.
I was like, that's why I do this. Like I love making people feel something. And it was his words too. It was like his scene that he wrote, and just to see him cry right there was really, really special.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And clearly people love it. I mean, it blew up.
It's a really
And
good short.
we did
Like it
not
really
expect
is.
that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, like once I saw you were in the short, I was like, oh my God, I have to watch this because I loved you in the movie, and when I saw you were in the short, I was like, oh my, all right, yeah, I'm watching this.
Yeah, it was cool. And it was cool. Like it all came out around the same time. Like I shot them right back to back, and then they came out back to back. It was cool.
Nice, nice. And you're also great at songs. Like I heard your version of Landslide, which is one of my favorite songs ever,
Oh
and
yeah.
you killed it. Like Stevie Nicks would be proud.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I would die if she ever heard it.
So are you a big fan of hers? Like,
So yes, massively. And the reason why I even chose to do that song. So in lockdown in 2020, my
hmm
neighbor at the time was, like an up and coming producer, and we had been talking about doing music together for like months. And finally when lockdown happened, we would kind of uh what's the word? Isolate or like
isolate.
yeah, whatever that word was when we locked ourselves together. Locked ourselves in together. And we just had a lot of fun of like seeing how each other works. And we finally landed on this song because the Japanese House has a cover of it, which is one of my favorite
Okay.
bands. And I just loved how their cover of it was really vibey and like uh just really cool, like indie, artsy, folky. And just in general, like the song is all about like getting older and moving on, and
Mhm.
uh the ups and downs of life. And at the time I didn't realize, but I was going through my own ups and downs and moving ons and growings. So that whole project to me was very much about starting a new chapter. And so pretty much that that project started my healing process.
Oh
And
wow.
that's when I packed up my life, moved back to Michigan, really started the journey, the work. And we made the video about that. And
hmm
yeah, that project was the opening door for me to really enjoy making music, because I was really hands-on in that process. Like we would sit at the computer like every night together, and I'd be like, ooh, she's like, okay, well, let's do this. And I'm like, ooh, change that vocal, make that vocal sound really modulated. And then she's like, oh my God, yes. And then it sounded like a guitar, not a vocal. It was really cool. Like most of that track is actually my voice. Like there's some sounds in the back that sound like instruments, and it's my voice
Yeah.
that we modulated. It was really cool.
Oh wow.
And like
Okay.
that alone made me just love the process of making music. I don't know how to do it
Yeah.
myself, but I love to collaborate with it.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Cause I mean, you write your own music too. Cause I see you have your own songs. I saw you made songs for the Dare Evan Hansen play, and what's it what's it like to get into a headspace to write songs? Like what inspires like the songs?
Uh, a lot of like my songs so far have come from like journal entries of mine. So just like the inner workings of my brain and mind. Um, I'll just set the record straight. I'm not the best with words. Um, so I would often write and get my feelings out and like have a structure. And my partner, Emily, like my music partner, would kind
Yeah,
of do the formula. Like, I don't know the music formula, but she would know the music formula. So she'd kind of piece the words together and make it flow. And that's how our songs kind of came to be. But at the core, they've all come from like a deeper struggle that I was working through at the time. I don't like sit here and write about like a little like a oh rainbows and butterflies. Like, no, like they're probably about something that I was like struggling with at the time. Whether it was a breakup or anxiety or stuff like, yeah.
He said, "No, you're not. I'm not writing about butterflies. No,
No, I'm
that's
like,
been
let's get
written. It's
real.
been written too much. Like I don't have to write
Yeah.
that."
Yeah, like my song Worst of the Worst was actually a letter to myself
Hmm.
that like it's gonna be okay. It might suck today. Like really take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Stop trying to like hide it, but just know like if you can hang on, tomorrow could be okay.
Okay. Okay.
Like
That
not saying
that's
like
very good words of
today's gonna
advice.
be great, but it's like no, tomorrow could be great if you just hold on for today.
Exactly. No, no, those are really great words to live by. They really are.
Thanks. Yeah. And I needed it at the time. Like, I really needed to hear that. And so I just was like, let me make the song.
And when you aren't doing film and music, what do you like doing during your free time?
I take a lot of baths.
Ice baths or regular baths?
Hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. I would like to one day get there, but nope, that's not me. I take a lot of Epsom salt baths.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Again, I'm so all over the place. I had a painting phase. Um, what are I really love grabbing a smoothie. Um,
Okay.
Here's the thing. As I've gotten older, and with the like abundance of distraction that we have today, I kind of lost the ability to have a hobby, and I'm looking for that right now. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
yes.
I
No,
really don't
trust
have
me,
an
I know.
answer for you.
No, no, I'm in the same boat there. Like I'm searching for like a a hobby to do ever since I stopped wrestling and stuff.
Exactly.
And
Like I
yeah,
feel like all of our new hobbies and our free time is TikTok. So
that's what it seems like, right?
I'm not gonna answer with TikTok. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I like to do like I love to sing. Um yeah.
Okay. And what about like what kind of foods do you like? Is there like certain foods that you love to eat?
Ramen is my favorite thing ever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ramen is like number
Oh
one.
yeah.
Um I'm not a big fan of curry, I've realized.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. No offense. I don't know. Unless there's yeah, no, it just I don't know. I love all kinds of food though.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, I love all kinds of food. Put anything in front of me and I will probably like it. Like I'll try anything too. I'm
All right.
not too picky of a eater.
I love sushi. Sushi I could eat
Mm,
like every day, but
yes.
oh my, yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
What's your favorite type of sushi?
Spicy tuna.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, me too.
Wait,
Especially
really?
spicy
Yeah.
tuna on a bed of crispy rice. You talking
Yes.
about? Ooh,
Yes.
that
Yes.
makes me go crazy.
Same. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, like I was at an all you can eat sushi place one time and I got so sick that I didn't eat sushi for like a month because I devoured like probably like 10 spicy tuna rolls.
Wow. Well, brave of you to wait only a month. I have a bad experience. I will not go back for a year.
Okay. I just love like once a month pass, I'm like, I think I could do
Yeah,
sushi
I think
again.
I could do
Let's try.
sushi. Do you think it was the amount of sushi or because it was bad sushi?
No, I think it was because I ate too much. Like because it was all you can eat, and I wanted to get my money's worth,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
ate till I was physically sick.
Yeah, I don't understand the places that do the all you can eat because it's not at the end of the day, it's not a good idea.
No, no, it's not.
You could actually be spending less money if you just got the dishes. Anyway,
Oh no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So, what do you think would be your go-to karaoke song if you were doing karaoke with people?
I think I'm psychic. I had a weird feeling you were about to ask me that.
Wait, really?
I was thinking of The Climb by by Miley Cyrus while you said
Yes.
that, and that is my karaoke song.
No, are you serious? Oh my God, that's so
Yeah.
crazy.
So The Climb, I sing that one all the time. I sing Linger by the Cranberries,
Oh, I love that song.
right? I sing
Yes.
Ordinary People by John Legend. I love that song.
Okay, okay.
And I think that's it. Oh, I also do Yellow by Coldplay. Those are my karaoke go-tos.
Nice, nice. You know, like after we're done the interview now, I'm gonna listen to Landslide by Fleetwood Mac and now Linger from the Cranberries because
Right? The vibe.
exactly. And what about apps? Like, what kind of apps do you like the most? Like, is there a certain app that you use the most or watch the most?
Like appetizer or on my phone?
Like your phone, yeah.
Um, um, I'm um I'm really addicted to this game called Coin Master right now.
Ooh, I don't think I ever heard of that one.
Don't don't even don't do it. It's addicting. Apps, I mean, I'm like a social media whore. I'm all
Okay.
on the Instagram and TikTok and or the dating apps, but no, I'm actually breaking up with those. No, I'm breaking up with those. Not for me.
Yeah, like that I went through my phase with the grinders and all that stuff and
Okay. I never ever got in like it just felt so icky to me.
yeah.
I felt like it made me uncomfortable. Also, because like a lot of people are like a little too forward for me on there, so I'm not,
Hmm. Hmm.
not for me.
And I don't know if you follow like comic books and all that. Like, do you have a favorite superhero and villain?
Okay, not to burst your bubble right now. I don't really follow it, but
Yeah.
I did because I'm a narcissist. I'm just kidding. I Google my name sometimes. And I saw I like a fan casting.
Really? And they put you in one
They
of the
put
movies.
me as Bobby Drake. I think he's like Iceman.
Okay,
And
okay.
apparently he's gay. And I'm like, that would be sick. So
That would be.
will I read those comics? Yeah. But I mean, I was a huge Spider-Man fan when I was growing up, but that's as
Oh,
far as that goes.
yeah,
Like
no.
I mean, it was a little much. Like I had Spider-Man like sheets, pillows, slippers, pajamas, posters. It was a little crazy.
Everyone goes through that phase when they're younger, like they want to be Batman and Spider-Man and Superman and
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
And I guess the last question I'll ask you is where can fans follow you at?
Yeah, pretty much every platform. My name, Jordan Dow. Um, and stay tuned because I have my first TV show dropping very, very, very soon. I just wrapped it.
Nice.
And yeah, so details for that will literally be coming out in the next few weeks.
I will definitely keep my
Uh,
eyes open for that.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was really great chatting with you. You're
Yeah, you
really, really
too.
awesome, man. You are. You're really awesome. Thank
No,
you.
you're awesome. I'm so happy we got to do this finally. And yeah, it was a pleasure.
Definitely, bud. Well, have a great day and I mean night and the weekend's coming
Yeah,
up,
what
so
time?
have fun for the weekend too.
You too, you too.
Bye.
Chat soon.